Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. Today is Thursday the 30th of November and as usual we are on the FTSE 100. Apologies if the lighting in here is pretty poor. It's still pretty dark in here on a morning here in the UK, so it will get brighter as the day goes on, hopefully. But getting into today's trading, I'll run you quickly through the bands that I'm looking at. You can see we've got one round here with today's S1 around 370 to 363 level. We've got one a little bit further up with yesterday's lower price around sort of the 385 level, and currently one just down here at sort of the 354 to 353 level. I do have a few more above and below, but I haven't marked them in yet. I will if price decides to start moving past the ones that I've already marked in. So yeah, we had a decent move down yesterday. It was a bit of a weird day yesterday, to be honest. Price came down nice and early, and literally just held. Obviously, this pivot line is today's pivot line. There was no line there yesterday, and it just held here like you rarely do you see such precise, holding for so long. So many tests. I actually tried shorting it on its second attempt, got out of this trade for a small loss and basically just sat it out. What I wanted to see then was either a break above sort of these highs here, a retest and go, or a break above and another attempt, because what you can often find, you just get caught in chop, which would have been the case if you continually tried to short this. So on its second attempt down here, I did manage to get a short in, and I only took it down to sort of the 7400 level, and as you can see, it came quite a distance actually. So yeah, that brings us into today's trading. You can see on the hourly and the 4 hourly now, we've had a decent move down, but we're just back into really the range that we've been in for the last couple of weeks now. We're right back down into the bottom of it, so potentially we might see a break this time. You can see we had another big tail yesterday into this area, which is not particularly indicative of a breakdown, but we are slowly grinding down still, so we'll see how this goes. If I was going to take a short, it's going to be difficult, but it's going to need to break below this band, revisit, and then give me a signal. Otherwise, I will be happy to take longs from this band as it stands, just back up to the band up here. This is the last candle before the market opens, so we're getting a little bit of volatility pick up here. But we'll see what happens. That's the plan. And if I do start getting some trade setups, I will update you further. Okay, rather than miss the order this time, I've put this straight in. You can see it's been accepted. I've got long just above this signal candle here. So we've come down this morning, we've had a little bounce, we've tried to move down again, and then we've moved back up and we've broke the 8 EMA, so all nice patterns. You can see on the previous hour we actually tested this 8 EMA, we didn't manage to close through it, but it's still a good pattern. I'll move the 4 hour across so you can see it. So the 8 EMA on the 4 hours actually above this band, so there's more than enough room for price to move up to this band without even having to test the 8 EMA on the 4 hour, which is always good. So let me bring the ticket across. I'll leave this here. Yeah, basically all I'm looking for now is just a short move up to the next band. If we start closing down here, it's come straight back down after triggering me in. If we start closing down here, then the stop will just come below a decent bearish close. I'm not going to let it try and break all the way past here, because the risk to reward on that would be terrible. We're in at about 72 and we're looking for about 82, so we're only looking for about 10 points, and we're actually coming down a long way now, so the risk to reward on this one is not going to be fantastic. It's probably going to be somewhere around 1 to 1, depending on how quickly this candle moves down, if it is going to continue moving down. So this could be a short one. So I'll update you a little bit further on in the trade, but I'll let this run so you can see what's happening. Okay, so that's the close of that candle just there. You can see we did get a decent push up, but then we've come straight back down. So the stop is just going to go in. It's moving down quite quickly. Let me see what the profit target on this would have been. We're looking up about 14 points. 1 to 1. Ooh, we could just about put it below this swing to keep a 1 to 1 risk to reward, which I'm happy with, I think, because that's where it's failed. So I'm going to put it. What is the low of this candle? 50. We'll call it 59. So we'll put it in at 57. Where's the ticket gone? Modify. Stop loss. 57. So the stop's in there now. If that wants to start coming down towards this band, then we are going to be out of that at 57. That's this candle here, nice bearish sentiment there. It's just whether it can start moving past this level that it struggled at. You can see it struggled at it a little bit further back as well. So if we were to draw like a line where it seems to be struggling at the moment, that's the one we're dealing with. So we're getting yet another reaction. How far this is going to go, I don't know, obviously. But we got a nice strong buy signal here, which is why we entered the trade. Obviously, we have these highs to contend with, and it's obviously failed there. Come straight back down. We're back at this sort of sticking point now. It just depends which one it's going to push past first. I would imagine now that we're back down here, obviously the probabilities are that it's going to move through here. We've even got a couple of spikes through this one, which is sort of indicative of that it will eventually move through it, whereas with this one we couldn't even really spike through it at all. But the probability of it coming up and hitting this yesterday's low is pretty good, hence the added desire to get into this trade, and that was a decent signal. So nothing wrong with the trade setup. The only thing I would change if I could would be to make the risk to reward a little bit better, because 1-to-1's not ideal. Like I say, looking up at like 14 points, and the stop on this now is just about 14 points, so it's not ideal, but I take a good amount of 1-to-1 trades anyway, so it's not something that I don't, it's not like I never do it. You try and identify setups that give you 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1 if you can, but they don't come around every day, so you've got to trade what you see. And like I said, the probability of this getting hit is pretty good, hence why I was happy to take this one. So it's just a case of waiting and seeing what this does now. Like I say, it's looking like it wants to push down further, so we'll just have to see what happens. I'll keep watching for now and update a little bit later on. So we're finally moving up into this band now, and I'm getting ready to close this trade out. You can see it's taken that long that this 200 moving average has actually come down and is providing a little bit of resistance for this trade. So I'm just going to close this here into that resistance. So we managed to squeeze 10 points out of that one in the end. Really, really tedious trade actually in the end. I think we got in here at 8:15, and it's now 10:30. That's felt a lot longer than 2.25 hours. But it chopped for a long time. We finally got that move up. It chopped for another long time, and then we finally peaked up into this band just here. and taken the profit, and you can see we're having a little bit of a reaction there. So I got there in the end. I'm actually going to wrap up because I've got some stuff to do this afternoon, but I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments or suggestions about what to do with these videos in the future or any other topics, please do let me know, and if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and I'll see you next week.